Okay, I would say we can start. Marion, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Katerina. So good afternoon to all of you and welcome to this event to launch officially SmarTomorrow. SmarTomorrow is an outcome of the Oral project that most of you may know about. SmarTomorrow was aiming at creating a unified regional and open digital ecosystem for smart communities. And in the continuation of this initiative and the success story we had on the project, we have created the SmarTomorrow community of practice and platform that we are glad to present to you today, and also to stimulate, inspiring exchange with the different speakers we have today, representing smart communities and digital doers involved in different areas. We will have an event of 1 hour duration to start with, followed by a matchmaking session. We can move quickly to the agenda. Just so you can see that we have very interesting speakers with us today. The first one will be Christophe Redrinka presenting the Oral and SmarTomorrow in more details. Then we have a success story from a project financed by Oral called Hypervis, who is going to present its project. We have presentation from some EADAH network activities. Then we will have the pleasure to have a presentation from Living in Europe from Gabriela Ruseva, and some inspiring comment as well from the Commission DG Connect, Mr. Ewan O'Neill. And then we will continue with the matchmaking session, for which you shall have received a link to connect with the people you have appointed a meeting with. Just to mention that the meeting is recorded and that you are free to ask for a question in the chat box, and we hope to be able to address the question at the end of the session. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Christophe Redrinka, who is representing the project leader of Oral and who is going to present to you in more details SmarTomorrow. Christophe, the floor is yours.
Yeah, many thanks, Mario. Welcome, everybody. I have the pleasure to introduce you to SmarTomorrow. I will keep it very short so that the others have more time. So first, where did it come from? So we started SmarTomorrow within the Oral project. This is where we developed it. Please go to the next slide. Oh, yes, so what's Oral? Short, Oral started 4 years ago and it ends next Monday, so very soon. It went on for around 4 years. And I guess it's still one of the last standing Horizon 2020 projects. All the others are already in the Horizon Europe program. We have 30 partners from 10 countries. We have a budget of 60 million euros. And I think very important, 10% of it, 1.6 million euros, is what you spend on open calls, so financial support for third parties. We have 22 open call projects and 8 pilots within the project. So what's Oral about? Oral is about rural areas. So I think if you are from a rural area, you know it. The infrastructure and everything is usually worse than in urban areas. And our answer for this is fostering and supporting the building of smart communities. And for this, we provided several projects and solutions within the project that we developed on our own and showcased in our pilots, but that were also brought into the project via the open calls. And here we are working on 5 domains. This is smart energy, smart farming, smart health, smart mobility, and smart tourism. Next slide, please. So what's SmarTomorrow now? We've developed SmarTomorrow within the Oral project, and this is our answer to first the continuity of the project. I think you all know it. If you do a Horizon project or any other project, it's all going well. But as soon as the project is over, the next day, the plug is pulled out and everything is over. And we don't want this for this project because we can't head rural areas if we don't have a sustainable solution. So we thought this is the answer for it. We create something where the project can continue, where our software and the solutions can continue, and we will also be able to generate further funding. I think this is most important for you. I really want to position SmarTomorrow as one of the well-known pillars of the European funding landscape. So this means that we will give out further funds to you directly, but we will also connect you with other projects, with regional funds, with funds from the public or from the EU and help you to assess them. But as I said, most important, I think you will be most interested in further direct funding via FSDP. The next, we have a community of practice. So here we already did several webinars where we shared our skills or experiences and the training sessions with SMEs, but also with regions. So basically, if you have an idea, so if you say that in my rural area, we have this exact problem, but I don't know how to tackle it, but here are people who are willing to work on it, then you can come to us and we will guide you through this whole thing. So we'll connect you to the most important other stakeholders in the area. We'll connect you with people all around Europe that have similar problems. And we will then tell you how you can tackle the problem, what's the process looks like, and then even provide you with funding. So that's like the idea of it. We also have battle-proven business plans that are already developed that we can share with you. Next, we're doing community building, networking, and knowledge sharing, just like today. So as you know, afterwards is a matchmaking event. This is also part of it. Yeah, that's basically it. A short overview. So next slide, please. And yeah, if you're interested, then please join us on oral.partner.eu or also visit us directly on our website, smarttomorrow.eu. And yeah, thanks for joining today, and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Christoph, for this very thorough and straight to the point presentation of SmarTomorrow. And as Christoph mentioned, you are encouraged to join the community and participate to our events and also access the platform when you have plenty of information at a technical level and at financing level as well. And now I'm glad to introduce to you Bertrand Coppignot, who is going to present to you an open call proposal that was financed under Oral that is called Hypervis. And yeah, I have the pleasure to give you the floor, Bertrand.
Thanks. So hello everyone, Bertrand Coppignot from CanTU. So CanTU is an SME. We are a spin-off of CA, which is a French research center. And we have been involved in this type of project for some time. So the vision of the company really is to help communities tackle the digital transformation and also the climate transformation. For that, we develop open source solutions. And based on these open source solutions, we create decision support systems, hypervision capabilities that help cities navigate their data and make sense of it. Next slide, please. So what was the objective? The general objective of our project was to bring some of these hypervision capabilities to the overall platform. So the idea is to not only access to the data, but also bring meaningful visualization and possibly analytics and forecasts to again make sense of the data. Next slide, please. So we focused for this open call pilot on one of the project pilots, so the tourism activity in Hålogaland, Norway. So the idea is to make sense of the data that can be gathered through QR codes on the touristic sites, through sensors, and provide a perspective on this data. Next slide. Yeah, and so our goal was to, well, just previous. Yeah, our goal was to demonstrate this in. Can you go back in the slides, please? You went a bit too fast there. Yeah, anyway. So our goal was to demonstrate the ability to interconnect our hypervision capabilities with the data from this pilot. So we created data connections between our solution and the overall platform, and we then developed an hypervision capability based on this pilot. I will now share a quick demo. So let me share my screen. Okay, so if you can see my screen, this is the dashboard view that we have created for the platform. So where you get a view of the top activity in terms of tourism in the areas, and we can move to the map perspective. So there you have the vision on the counters, the person counters with access to the raw data. We also have access to visualization of the different local activities. And you get directly access to some analytics, so you can view the yearly perception of visitors and device counts around a specific activity point. We also integrated some weather data to be able to do some correlation between the weather data and the tourism activity in the local area. We created also additional views.
Yes, so Bertrand, sorry, I don't see your screen now. You're sharing the dashboard?
Let me share it again then.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
It's coming, I think. For now, it's just blackboard. Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah, thank you. We see a map.
Okay.
And now
so
the graphs. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was that view. So we have the map view. Let me skip rapidly on what I said. So here are some view of the activities where I can on a specific activity, get some data and some analytics, as I said, expectation of local activities. And we can move to the view of the weather station. So we have integrated the weather data also for the correlation of the tourism activity with the local weather information. And then we can move to the view of the top activities. And for each activity, you get a description and you get, more importantly, access to perspective analytics on the foundation of this local activity, and yeah, you can do some analysis on top of that. So yeah, that was a quick perspective on our solution. I probably won't have more time to show you. So if we come back to some of the main feedbacks of this pilot activity. So it's basically a proof of concept. What the Open Call enabled us to do is to develop a first proof of concept of working with the overall platform. We have to say that we found that it's a very good solution in terms of access to data and a good balance between the necessary protection of data for the data provider and the control of the data for the data provider. And the access for people like us developing solutions. We also found that the documentation was very high standard with an easy onboarding, and that was really appreciated by our technical team. And so if we look to the next steps, we find that, well, this is for us the first proof of concept, the first touch in adapting our hypervision solution to tourism-oriented application, where usually we target more solutions around energy management or mobility management. And we hope that this brings well, further opportunities to develop in this sense and help local communities with tourism-oriented solutions. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Bertrand. And I'm sorry because the sound was not so good at a certain point of time, so I hope the participants were able to follow up. But in any case, if you have any information and a link, you can share it in the chat box. And that was a really good example of a success story in using and connecting to the ORAL middleware. And yeah, we wish there will be more similar success stories in the coming future on the SmarTomorrow. Thanks a lot, Bertrand. Now I have the pleasure to introduce you to Owen O'Neill from the DG Connect from the European Commission. He's going to present to you the European Digital Innovation Hubs Network and the kind of related opportunities that could be of interest for the digital doers. Owen, the floor is yours.
Excellent, Marion. Thank you very much. Good to be here, and thank you for the opportunity. So yes, greetings from Brussels, greetings from the Commission, but greetings specifically from the AI Office of the European Commission. The EDI network, which I will get to in a moment, is now part of a key instrument here in the AI office. The AI office was established by the Commission in June last year, and its mission is dual in nature. It's regulatory. We are responsible for enforcing the AI Act, but our mission is also non-regulatory in nature. We have a major focus here on stimulating AI, its uptake across Europe, across industry, in public sector, in scaling up our skills, doing everything we possibly can to make to help Europe, industry and society, extract the benefits and the opportunities of AI, and to do so in a safe and trustworthy way. Now, so look, it's a massive opportunity that AI is bringing. Yes, there are challenges, there are some fears, but the opportunity, if the opportunity, that opportunity will come to zero if we do not deploy this at scale, this technology. It's bringing efficiencies, it's bringing productivity gains, it can bring new ideas, delivery of new products and services. It can have a radical and, yes, positive impact on society, on the economy. Now, to do so, we can't just sit back, twiddle our thumbs and wait for it to happen. We're taking an active, proactive role here in trying to make this happen. How? With various instruments and initiatives that we are launching across the European Union. And in that portfolio of instruments is one, the European Digital Innovation Hubs. They started out 3 years ago with the first wave. We have 151 of them across the EU and associated states active at the moment. But since June, and this was not an administrative move, this was a strategic decision, that network of European Digital Innovation Hubs was moved into the AI office. Why? Because we see this network of EDIs as being critical and key and well positioned to stimulate the uptake and deployment of AI with a big focus on SMEs, mid-caps, and public sector organizations. When they started out, the focus of the EDIs was to bring digitalization at scale to these actors in the economy. Internet of Things, cybersecurity, new 3D printing technologies, artificial intelligence. Now, with the EDI network moved into the AI office portfolio, there is a major recalibration taking place. The EDIs are going to recalibrate, and starting now, it started already, to focus on AI, not exclusively, but to have a center of gravity focus on AI. Not at the exclusion of the other technologies, cybersecurity, Internet of Things, but their main clear focus to be on AI. Now, I mentioned that first wave of EDIs, 151. We have a call that is opening next week, and we have an information day next week, a call for the second wave of EDIs. The call text, when you see it, it will be very clear that this recalibration is explicit and called out in the call text for what we are seeking in terms of proposals in this coming call. So it's a major but helpful and timely recalibration of the EDI network. These European Digital Innovation Hubs, be they the current wave or the ones that will come, will be focused on delivering, for example, training to SMEs and public service organizations in these technologies, test before invest services, advice on investment to help scaling the companies, and adopting these new technologies, and encourage and helping them expand their footprint in the marketplace. But indulge me here, I'm not only going to talk about EDIs, also in our portfolio are some flanking initiatives of considerable consequence that are coming. 2 months ago at the AI Action Summit in Paris, President von der Leyen of the Commission set out a vision for an AI continent to make Europe the AI continent. And a big core part of that, well, there are several dimensions. There's scaling up the infrastructure for compute power, scaling up the skills, but also launching of a major new initiative to focus, policy initiative to focus and drive even more uptake of these technologies in the verticals. To do so at scale, taking up of AI technologies across all verticals and the public sector organizations, basically the verticals described in Mario Draghi's recent report, and to scale within those verticals AI usage by small enterprises and large. We expect in the third quarter of this year for a major new initiative of the Commission, policy driven, to be launched to facilitate and make this happen. It will complement what the EDI network is also doing. But you don't have to wait until August, or well, third quarter of this year. I mentioned already one thing happening next week with the launch of the call. The second thing happening, well, it's the week after next to be precise, the 9th of April. A new communication from the Commission will hit the streets. The AI Continent Action Plan. This is putting meat on the skeleton that was set out by the President at the AI Action Summit less than 2 months ago. It will set out the roadmap for actions to stimulate and drive AI uptake, what we will do on all of these dimensions: talent, skills, investment, compute infrastructure, deployment. Within that AI continent is the commitment to deliver in the third quarter what I was previously talking about, this policy driven to drive uptake of AI across the continent. Ladies, gentlemen, this is a vital moment we are living in. AI is a major vector, geopolitically even. The good news is, on this continent, we are in a very strong position. Per capita, density-wise, Europe has 30% more AI engineers than the United States of America. Per capita, we have 3 times more AI engineers than China. 15 of the world's top 50 public supercomputing facilities, where are they? In the EU. 15 of the world's top 50. And that is before billions of extra investment from the EU goes into those supercomputing factories that are dotted across the EU. We have mature industries ready to extract great new productivity gains from AI. So many of the tools and building blocks of success are in place. And the DeepSeek developments in China are signaling as well that open source and some models could actually need lower compute power than was being used, for example, for the first generation of large language models. And that can open up new possibilities in Europe too. Could you imagine, for example, a fully open source large language model inspired by DeepSeek, but trained with data that reflects our societies, our economies, values and interests, the values of a democratic societies, not of a communist state? It's not here yet, but should that arrive, it could be a game changer. And we have plenty of talent here to capitalize on that, if not deliver that possibility. One final thing. I mentioned the AI Act, the regulatory side of what we're doing here in the House. There is a communication channel I want to flag to you, the AI Pact with a P. Search for it, AI Pact, and I encourage you to sign up. It's like signing up for a newsletter to get regular emails from the AI office about possibilities to get informed directly, for example, via webinars from AI Act experts here in the AI office. If you want to understand the AI Act, what it means, and more importantly, what it doesn't mean, because it does not affect everybody, the AI Pact signing up is, you just search for it. It is a good channel. For example, next week we have a webinar on prohibited AI systems and definitions of AI systems, which are important dimensions of the AI Act. If you want to be on top of it, the AI Act, sign up for the AI Pact, and you will be kept informed of future coming webinars. We organize typically at least one, if not two, a month on different topics and themes of the AI Act and wider AI Office activities. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to conclude there, but I wanted to give you a flavor, yes, for the Eddies, but also for the wider spectrum of actions we're driving here from the AI Office. Wishing you all the very best for the rest of the event and the launch of the platform. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Owen, for this inspiring words and news. I would say, as you say, it goes much beyond just AI, especially in the challenges we are facing now in our society and the changing of the world landscape. So it's very important, as you say, again, to be part of the AI Pact initiative and to keep yourself informed. There are lots of opportunities and support offered by the Commission. And this is why we would like to present to you now through the presentation of three different European digital innovation hubs activities who are based in different countries. The aim is for them to present you what they can offer in terms of support, I would say, like technical assistance, but also access to investments, as Owen precisely mentioned. And for most of the time, they are free access services, so they are really here to help and available to you. So now I would like to start with Michael Tellen from the EDIH Crowd in Motion, who is based in Salzburg. Michael, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Marianne, for the wonderful invitation to be here. It's a true pleasure. And thank you, Owen, for this very inspiring presentation as well about EDIHs, what they've accomplished and the future. I will shortly present our EDIH, Crowd in Motion, based here in Austria. We are a EDIH with 9 different partners. We are the coordinators here at Salzburg Research, a research and technology organization. However, we also have partners working on digital training in Vienna. We have a network of fab labs and maker spaces where people can really come to us and say, hey, I want to test this new sensor or technology, and they have the access to this. We also work with a crowd innovation network for crowdfunding. So we're very versatile in what we do, and we're spread across all of Austria. Next slide, please. We have a wide network of both Austrian and international partners. We have a very high reliance on test before invest and also crowdfunding technologies. So we are very heavy in this, but also with our Clear AI network, Enterprise Europe network for scale-ups who want to internationalize. We are also in direct contact with them. We're also very focused in tourism. So we have many tourism organizations that we work with. Next slide, please. What we offer in a nutshell is orientation assistance, where companies can come to us or also PSOs, and we can tell them where they should orientate themselves, what their competitors are doing. We offer trend analysis, so they can see how they should position themselves on the competitive landscape. We also offer our own crowdfunding platform, as I said. We also have a crowd innovation platform where people can put their ideas for different problems. In our first generation of our EDIH, we were very focused on IoT technologies. However, as Owen said, now we will recalibrate more towards AI technologies, and specifically in mobility and motion data analysis. Next slide, please. Some specific things that we can offer. As we are in fully functioning EDIH, we offer services in the 4 pillars: advanced digital skills and training, ecosystem services, test before invest, and support to find investment. An example of our digital skills and training are the digital transformation manager courses that we have done, where anybody can sign up and get this free service. We also have train the trainer courses, for example, AI and innovation management, or crowdfunding technologies that we have put on the EDIH Academy. For ecosystem building, we are heavy in this idea crowdsourcing. However, we also do lead user panels, for example, innovation ecosystem analysis, etc. When it comes to test before invest, we involve our Fab Lab and Makerspace networks across Austria, where they can come and design and prototype their own solutions. Next slide, please. Just a few best practice examples of what you could expect of things coming from our ETIH in the first wave. I will just quickly go through a few. As I said already, we have done a Train the Trainer course that was available on the DTA website for everybody to access. Crypto assets, token economy, crowdfunding, innovation management, and we hope to make this more extensive in the next generation. Next slide, please. We also involved tourism providers here in Austria and students, and we did a so-called mixed reality tourism jam with AR, VR, and mixed reality, where they can go through these different tourism destinations and imagine visiting a destination with this headset on. Next slide, please. We also have our own crowd innovation platform, and we have done more than 10 services with this, where companies or PSOs can come and they have a list of things that they want to ask the crowd, and we involve our network of more than 3,000 citizens, where they can put their own ideas for the posed questions, and in return they can get prizes, and there are some gamification aspects as well. An example of this crowd innovation platform is our campaign, Smart Reuse of Resources in Tourism, connecting with circular economy paradigms and involving the Tourism Association here in Austria, really trying to get answers for very specific questions that they can take with them, and possibly have a follow-up service with our EDIH for innovation workshops to build on these ideas if they would like to go further with those. Next slide, please. Additionally, we worked with a smart climbing hall here in Austria. And normally, it's analog, these climbing holds that people go on. However, we equipped them for ArtRock GmbH, and we incorporated smart technologies and sensors to measure different things so they know when they should move the tracks, which tracks people are heavily relying on, maybe looking at some weight aspects to see what the most optimal arrangement is for this. As well, we have worked not only in Austria, but outside of Austria, and we involved the bobsleigh association in Germany, where they have this luge sledding for the Olympic sport. And they came to us and they said that they would like to build some new smart sensor technologies so their athletes can more easily maneuver these courses and be more competitive and see what they should improve on. So we've also connected a little bit of this sports aspect. And lastly, what I would like to underline is that we are one of the only EDIHs that we know in our network that involve a crowdfunding platform. And I think this really connects the idea of the session of connecting rural communities, because the best practice example, which is called Goodbye Hello, raised over 600,000 euros from 206 private backers to fund a new cable car in a rural area in Austria. And in return, they got maybe a little bit of equity, or they got a gift card. So we have seen a lot of success with this platform, and we definitely aim to bring this for our next generation. So in a nutshell, this is what we do. We would be happy to arrange a consultation and to get to know you and your needs and find the best solution for you, whether it's with our EDIH, another EDIH, or as Owen said, in the wider European network, we're here for you. And please get in touch if this is interesting, also in the matchmaking session.
Thanks a lot, Michael, for presenting this wide range of services offered to SMEs and digital doers, and also for presenting this concrete case and initiatives. That was really inspiring and interesting, I guess, for all the participants. Now I would like to give the floor to Dr. Antti Jacobson from the European Digital Innovation Hub, Location Innovation Hub based in Finland. So Antti, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Marianne. So if you go to the next, if you push the button a little bit to show the title, I guess. Yes, the next slide. Okay. So basically the Location Innovation Hub is I think we are the only innovation hub in Europe that only concentrates on the use of the location data. And basically we are focusing on the certain aspects of the location data, like interoperability of location and other data, which is very important aspect. We are focusing also seamless indoor-outdoor navigation, which has a lot of very nice potential use cases. We actually had a webinar today where we could demonstrate 1 millimeter accuracy positioning from sensors. So that was very exciting. And also this precise positioning has a lot of use cases. Basically, we have quite big partnerships. In Finland, we have 38 partners. We have had more than 300 clients so far, and we provide rather many test environments. Quite heavy with the different events, and we provide this kind of best practices as a Positio magazine articles as well. If you go to the next one. So this is the partnerships in addition to Finland, where we actually have quite many, let's say, we connect research agencies, we have companies, and then we have private, let's say, this kind of public sector organizations. So I think one of the benefits of the EDIs is that we can create this kind of connections between different players. And also we have this international network that is presented in the lower part of the corner. If you go to the next one. So one of the examples that we have found that is very useful is this Poro researcher. So sometimes the companies are lacking certain type of kind of expertise, and we can provide this from the research agencies. And this is very easy to use when they identify that there is a need for some kind of expertise from these kind of research agencies. We can connect them and provide this kind of small consultancy for them, and that seems to be very interesting from the company's point of view. If you go to the next one. One of the things that we are doing is that we give guidance to the companies in certain areas which probably are rather difficult in some occasions, like how to use this kind of global and national location data. And of course, Europe has a lot of location data, which is still a little bit difficult to use, and that's why we are going to give this kind of guidance. Also, what I mentioned, this kind of geospatial data integration, we are providing this kind of guidance on the accurate positioning and sensor technologies. If you go to the next one. Basically, we are also providing this locationeurope.eu as a test infrastructure. It is providing an access to these kind of high value data sets in Europe. And why we think that this is very useful, you can go to the next one. Why we think this is very useful is that we basically connect these kind of national data sources together and provide one API. This is an example of building 3Ds. I think this is one of the only examples of that you can actually connect these kind of 3D data sources in one API in Europe, and these are the countries currently supported. If you go to the next one. We can start showing that you can go to the next one. You can zoom in when you try to find these kind of buildings 3D. We use the open source data for the zoom in, but if you go to the next one, then you start seeing these kind of building 2Ds. And if you go to the next one, these are coming directly from the national sources. Then we change to the aerial photograph, and we also saw the attribute information of the buildings. And here we actually have connected climate data. So you can see that for a building, there's information about temperature, forecast temperature, wind speed, and sunshine hours, for example. So if you go to the next one. And finally, you can also see this kind of 3D. And if you go to the real example, you can explore these kind of buildings rather easily. And that is run on the supercomputer. And what we try to do in the next phase is that we need this kind of data for the AI purposes. And we are going to work with AI factories to kind of connect this kind of, let's say, distributed national sources that can be used for the AI. And then you can go to the next one. We are also doing this now with the Location Finland platform. And here we have certain use cases like smart farming. And we can, let's say, connect this kind of IoT data. Here's the also connection of the meteorological data. What is the air quality? And that is shown there. So we can connect different type of sources for kind of test infrastructure. And you can go to the next one. So if you are interested, please contact us, and we are ready to help you. We are, of course, offering all of these kind of these kind of services, funding support, test before invest, training support. And maybe I mention also that we have currently we will be working on the GeoEye course. This will be launched in April. And you will be able to see what are the best practices on using the GeoAI. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Antti, for all these very concrete initiatives and very interesting. And now we have our last EDIH presenting, Raffaele Bini from the HID Data Life based in Spain. Raffaele, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. Next slide, please. So Data Life is the digital innovation hub for the life sciences in Galicia, based in Santiago de Compostela. Our main mission is to accelerate the digital transformation in 4 strategic value chains that are biotechnologies, agri-food, forestry wood, and healthcare, with a strategic focus on bioresources, sustainability, and the health intended as the concept of One Health. Next slide, please. With data as the central axis, we help companies introduce disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, high-performance computing, and cybersecurity. Through our services, we facilitate access to financing, proof of concept, and connect supply and demand. Next slide, please. So Data Life is a digital innovation hub, is a no-profit association with its own board and team. Next slide, please. This is our team, and next slide, please. The consortium includes technology centers, clusters, universities and academies, and large companies also. Next, please. DataLife was born in 2019 as a digital innovation hub, selected as a strategic by the regional government of Galicia, and became an ADIH at European level in 2023. Next slide, please. We are also involved in any other projects at the European community level, such as Agri-Food TEF, SOS Food, and IBA Plus. Next, please. So, DataLife, as a European digital innovation hub, acts as a one-stop shop to help businesses to transform, to go through the digital transformation, mainly providing and facilitate the use of digital technologies, and also providing some innovation services. Next slide, please. So our services are intended to help companies in go through the digital transformation, and mainly we offer two main kind of services. The first one are technological services, so technological application in case of R&D project, such as application of artificial intelligence, and also we are starting to work with data spaces. And about ecosystem services, we try to mentor, for example, startups. We can provide business support and funding services, digital training and skills, and ecosystem and networks. Next, please. Here, there are some examples of technology services that we can provide to SMEs. The majority of the services provided consist in the development of artificial intelligence models and solutions. Next, please. This is an example of our service pipeline, showing how we manage the service requests queue with our consortium partners that provide the services. In this case, the CTUs, the Technological Center. And this pipeline also exemplifies a big part of our client journey. Next, please. I would like to share just a success story. And here you can see some key figures that shows the impact of our services on a business of SME, that is ASA4, an engineering service company that operating in the forestry and environmental sector, mainly in Galicia, but also now is expanding. And we supported them over the years through various services to make its proposal viable. For example, we provide a service such as access to finance, business modeling, test before invest, and communication. And for our success is measured through the figure and the impact we can have on the business of our customer. Next, please. So thank you very much for the attention, and feel free to contact us if you are interested in sharing experience, collaborations, or knowing more about DataLife. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Raffaele, and to our three speakers again for presenting in detail the services and initiative you are offering. And we really encourage you to interact with different EDIH, and especially for those who presented today. Now we are a bit running after time, but we have the pleasure to have Gabriela Ruseva from Eurocities. She's project coordinator, and she's going to present you Living in EU initiative, the EU support services for smart communities. So Gabriela, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Marion, and thanks a lot for the invitation for this event, and congratulations for all the achievements that were just presented. Indeed, so I'm Gabriela, and I represent today the Living in EU initiative and the EU support services for smart communities, which are provided through this initiative. I will explain a little bit in more detail. So I work for Eurocities, which is one of the founding members of this initiative and the coordinator of the Secretariat. The Secretariat involves 5 networks that you can see here below in the footer of this slide. And it's also supported by the European Commission AI office that Owen was also representing. So I will explain, as I said, what Living in You is about as an initiative, and I will also present one of the related initiatives or projects that is called the EU Support Services for Smart Communities, which are offered to cities and regions through the platform. So if you can go to the next slide, Living in EU is an initiative that brings together local and regional leaders who recognize the potential of technology to enhance the quality of life in their territory, hence the title, Living in EU. It is important to know that it is not only for cities, so it's a multi-level governance movement, and we support public administrations of all sizes, so from villages and rural communities through towns, cities, metropolitan areas, regions, and even national governments. And all levels of digital readiness. So it doesn't matter if you are very advanced or if you are starting just now. We want to help you understand and adopt digital technology as a tool to solve the challenges that these local and regional authorities, or as they are called, public sector organizations, PSOs, are facing. So as you can deduct from what I'm saying, our main focus is on public authorities, but companies, including SMEs and even EDIHs, can support the initiative, and a few of them already do so, and in fact use it to get in touch with the city and regional administrations, so with PSOs. So what do? We promote the sustainable digital transformation based on European values and fostering European collaboration. Maybe, yeah, you can go to the next slide or even the slide afterwards because I need to speed up, yes. So why should municipalities or regional administrations join us? Well, first to know about developments at EU level, because we all know that the EU landscape can be quite complex, and we don't always have a direct chance to talk with Owen or his colleagues. We really need to help those people working in the local and regional administrations. For example, we've been hearing a lot about data spaces, interoperability, AI, digital twins. We all understand that, okay, digital twins are a very interesting, advanced technological solution that can help city achieve their objectives, for example, climate neutrality by monitoring air quality. Even more advanced digital twins can simulate a what-if scenarios. If we close this street, would the air quality improve over what time period, etc., etc. So they clearly have potential to support decision-making at local and regional level. Cities can test some measures before they implement them in the real world, so they can make mistakes in the digital twin, and AI can help them to identify these mistakes instead of making them in real life. However, there are a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of obstacles. There are huge gaps in terms of the level of understanding and advancement. So we really try to provide information to explain the legal framework, which is quite complex at the European level, at the national level. We try to look at available funding programs to support local and regional authorities to access them. We provide also capacity building. We provide a platform for them to collaborate and share knowledge among themselves, but also with solution providers, so researchers and companies, because we know that municipalities or regional authorities rarely have in-house capacity to develop those solutions. They usually need trusted partners, both from research as well as from the business field. And our approach in this sense is similar to the EDIHs, or however, the difference is that our starting point is really the public sector. And finally, through Living in EU, we provide direct access and also guidance to using some tools and services that are designed to help to accelerate local digital transformation, which are available at EU level. And one of these are these EU support services that you mentioned at the beginning. If you go to the next slide, I will just quickly explain how we work. So we have 5 working groups and we bring together the experts from the local and regional administration to share challenges and to give them this information that I mentioned. So we invite also experts from the European Commission, legal experts, sometimes when we need to analyze, for example, the AI Act, and okay, what are the implications of the AI Act for the local, for the regional level, for the subnational level. Or we invite technical experts or researchers to provide expertise for specific topics. And here on the slide, you can see the topics that we will be focusing on this year, because these working groups, they have an annual work plan, and the members, so these local and regional authorities, they can actually put forward the topics for which they need support so that we can address them together. So if you go to the next slide, apart from the working groups, we organize also a stakeholder forum and a supporter meeting, which is probably more interesting for the audience here, because these are meetings where tech companies, consultancies, research institutes, associations are also invited. And the aim of these meetings is actually to bring the demand side, so the city and region administrations, and the supply side, so the business, the researchers of the smart city market. So if you go to the next slide, as I mentioned, these members of the Living in EU initiative have access to tools and services that are developed at EU level. This doesn't mean that other cities and regions cannot use these tools if they are not member of our initiative, because these tools are usually developed under other related projects or by another organization. So they are open to any local and regional authority, but our role is to bring them together in one place so that local authorities actually know about them, and to guide the community on how to use them, because sometimes it's not sufficient to know that a tool exists. You need some support to actually be able to use it. So you see some of the tools that we are promoting right now. And if you go to the next slide, one of, yeah, maybe we can skip this one. Let's go to the, yeah, because we don't have enough time to go into the details of the different tools. I wanted to show you a few examples, but the one that is maybe more interesting to show is the online procurement help desk, which is the main tool of these EU support services for smart communities. So the EU support services are provided on behalf of the European Commission through a separate service contract, which is commissioned to a consortium of partners that, well, you cannot really see them here on the screen because it's very small, but it includes some consultancy companies, some research institutions. So this consortium provides the service on behalf of the Commission. But since those services are aimed at local and regional authorities, and Living in EU is the community of local and regional authorities at European level, then what better place, what better platform than Living in EU to actually reach to the beneficiaries of these services, instead of creating, again, this community for every specific service, every specific project. So this is how it works. And if you go to the next slide, I will explain very quickly about what the online procurement help desk consists of. So as soon as the city or regional administration, so this is really for PSOs, local and regional, express their interest, and they pass a certain criteria. For instance, it should be more than 50,000 inhabitants, etc. They will have assigned a city guiding agent. So this is a consultant that will support them through this help desk journey. So the consultant will support them to fill in a number of assessments. There are 3. So the LODIMAS, which is the digital maturity assessment, the strategy assessment, and an IT infrastructure assessment. And then we'll help them to develop their digitalization roadmap. And in this digitalization roadmap, they will identify some gaps. So for example, a city wants to collect real-time data through connected sensors, but they don't actually have the sensors. So they need to buy them, they need to procure them. And here is the last step, procurement support. Once you identify what you need to procure, you get support, and there are very detailed templates, standard and technical specifications that cities can use in order to actually procure this solution. So if you go to the next slide, this is the list of objects, and I hope that you can actually read it, for which templates are available, and they are categorized in 3 categories: infrastructure, so hardware; platform, so front-end software; and application services, so back-end software. And you may need to procure a number of those or just some components of those, because they are even further broken down. For instance, data and security user-facing applications are, there is a list of those that you can only pick one to procure. So it's very also modular, and you can select according to your needs. And these templates will be available in French and German, in addition to English. They can be accessed also by any city, regardless of whether they are part of this help desk, because this help desk will be available for 150 cities. But beyond that, these templates can be actually accessed from Living in EU and used by anybody. So if you go to the next slide, and I'm almost finished, I promise. These templates are accompanied also by guidelines on the different aspects and steps of public procurement of digital objects. So there is very useful, interesting information on innovative procurement, for instance, or how to involve SMEs in procurement. And these guidelines, of course, they are tailored to the needs of public authorities, public administration, but they can be very interesting also for SMEs which are planning to apply to those procurement calls, because they will then see how these calls are being approached. And then if you go to the next slide, with this, I would like to thank you for your invitation and for your attention. Don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. And please feel free to scan the QR code and follow us on LinkedIn. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Gabriela, and for speeding up at the end of this session. Thanks a lot for presenting this complementary set of support services offered to smart communities by Living in EU. Now I have the pleasure to hand the floor to Caterina Bortolazzo from the European Digital SME Alliance, who is giving us some concluding remarks and introducing us to the matchmaking session that is going to follow straight away. Caterina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Marion. We are a bit below scale. Yeah, not behind, sorry. We are running a bit late, but I think it was interesting to hear all the speakers, and I'm glad that we represent different words today. So there was EDIH, but also the representation of public authorities through Living in EU, and we could see that there are some very interesting intersections, and especially for public procurement. Then we also heard that there is an oncoming call for EDIH by Owen O'Neill from the AI office. So I think it was a very successful session. So before going to the next phase, that is the matchmaking session, a few words about the community of practice of SmarTomorrow and how you can use our tool to matchmake. So next slide, please. So how does it work? It works out as a networking tool that connects organizations with potential partner, and it's a sort of a hub for all the registered organizations, and can be SMEs, universities, research centers, but also public administration. So next slide, please. How it works. So you register your organizations, and then you will be able to also visit the other organizations' profiles and to connect with them. We will see in the next slides how this actually works. Then on the day of the event, you can check your agenda and join the scheduled meeting, just clicking on the button that we see over there. So when is a match, it will be green. There will be a green light. Next slide, please. So this is the platform where I invite all of you to register. And it is an integrated platform that features several communities and, of course, the SmarTomorrow community. Maybe we can also put in the chat the link to join PartnerRole and the community. Next slide, please. So now we created a SmarTomorrow community of practice that is inside PartnerRole, and you can also register directly to the community. So first you register to PartnerRole, and then you can choose your communities of interest. Next slide, please. So now you can, ahead of an event, register. Sorry, I see something in the. You can write to the registered participants, or also invite them to a bilateral meeting. So as you can see, there is a button to text and a button to invite. But also when the event has already been concluded, you can still contact the member of the community and also the participants to the event through direct message. So this facilitates indeed stable connections and enhances also the creation of the community. Next slide, please. Here, in the case you have already sent your invitation, you catch a glimpse of what it looks like. So you need to go to the agenda button and click on my agenda. So on one side you will have the event agenda, on the other side your agenda, and there you have all your meetings. In case you haven't invited anyone yet, you can still do so through the platform, clicking invite to the stakeholders of your interest and then waiting for their reply. Next slide, please. And last but not least, you can have a look at the marketplace section of the community, where relevant opportunities of business, of product, service, expertise, or partnership are published in each community. So not only in the SmarTomorrow community of practices, but also in other communities. And with this, I think we are reaching the end of our event. I thank you very much for the attention. I'm sorry that we ran a bit late, but I think all this time was needed. So we would like you to register to our community of practice and also to visit SmarTomorrow.eu. Maybe Marion, one last word.
No, very quickly, thanks again to all our very interesting speakers of today for all the precious information communicated to the participants today. And we encourage you to follow up with the matchmaking session, which is starting just right now. Thanks a lot to all of you, and wishing you a good end of afternoon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.